friends and family. Today I'm coming to you with one of my book reviews. And this book has been, since I discovered it, it has been a book that changed my life. It actually changed the way I view my whole reality, the way I view life. And that book is The 4 Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. And I'm going to shoot this out for you really quickly. So the first of the agreements is be impeccable with your word. The second is don't take anything personal. The third is do not make assumptions. And the fourth is always do your best. Now I'm going to break it down for you. The first, which is be impeccable with your word. Now in the book they talked about, they broke down the word impeccable, which means without sin. So when you're speaking to people, when you're in conversations, when you're having discussions, when you're debating, always be impeccable. Always use your words with the intent of love and harmony. Don't use it with sin. Don't use it to slander people. Don't use it to gossip. Always be impeccable with your word. Make your words be impactful and full of love and warmth. So the second agreement is don't take anything personal. Now here we go. I love this one. This one agreement has been something that made just a magnificent change in my life. I don't take anything personal anymore, or I try not to. I really try not to. So when people have something to say about me, I don't take it personal. I just view it as that is a direct reflection of how they feel inside. That is their reality. Their reality doesn't have to be my reality. It is a direct reflection on their inner state, how they feel. So, like I said in one of my other videos, other people's opinion about you is none of your business. It's a good one. I love that one. So, don't take anything personal. When somebody has something to say about you, when I went through a lot, and going through that, when I wasn't aware of these 4 agreements, I took a lot of things personal. I got really defensive really quickly because I feel as if I was being attacked. But since I've discovered these, I don't feel attacked anymore. I feel as if, you have. So the book was also talking about how we're all living in a dream, and we're all actors pretty much. So in your book, in your dream, in your life, in your book, in your life, you're the main character, and everybody else is just supporting roles. So if you start to take things personal, you're actually intertwining the 2 realities together. So, okay, another way he broke it down is not taking anything personal. The only reason you would get upset at somebody or take something personal is because in some form, one way or another, you're taking, you believe what they're saying. So the way somebody broke it down to me was, all right, so if you were talking to somebody and somebody told you that, hey, you're a horse, you would say, hey, you're silly. I don't know what you're talking about, whatever. And then another person came up to you and said, hey, you're a horse. You'd be like, all right, okay, I don't know why people keep saying I'm a horse, but clearly I'm not a horse. Third person come to you and say, you're a horse. You start to think, okay, so why is people calling me a horse? Like, is this really a thing? Like, am I actually a horse? And he said, when the fourth person come to you and say, you're a horse, you better buy a feed bag. Which means don't take anything personal, but always be open for constructive criticism. If you look at it as constructive criticism and it's not as anything as like an attack or something that that needs to be changed right away because you feel hurt and personally judged by it, it'll change your life. Don't take anything personal. Third, don't make any assumptions. Now in the book, they said just this one agreement can stop a whole whirlwind of emotions, pain, grief, suffering, Yeah, all of the above. Because a lot of this part of your imagination. When you make assumptions, you're just imagining things, especially when you don't have the concrete evidence or the facts about what's being said or what's happening in life. So he says you need to be brave enough to ask the questions. Ask what's going on, ask for the facts instead of making assumptions. Because when you do that, it just takes, it's basically a form of communication. Like, I'm all about healthy communication. So not making assumptions is just a healthy form of communicating. And the last agreement, which is always do your best. And this is the agreement that he said you can't do any of those previous 3 agreements without the 4th agreement, which is always doing your best. Your best will look different day to day, hour to hour, minute to minute, because your best will always change. If you're sick versus healthy, your best is going to look different. If you're waking up in the morning time, you're gonna be a little bit more spry than you are at nighttime. Your best will look different. If you're selling cars, one month you may sell 10 cars. The next month you may sell 2. Now, what happened throughout that month? Could have been a variety of different things. You could have had a sick kid. You could have had a wife that wasn't feeling the greatest. You could have had financial issues. You could have had a bunch of things going on that month. But your best, if you tried your best, and you always tried your best, then you should realize that, hey, I gave you everything that I have, and it just looks differently. So, and he talked about when you look at doing your best, like being impeccable with your words. You're not always going to be impeccable with your word. You're not always going to not make assumptions. You're not always going to not take things personal. But what you can do is realize that I'm trying, and when you try to do your best, you're going to transform. You're going to evolve. And evolution is the reason we're on this earth, right? We're all here to evolve. We are all here to be the best version of ourselves. And that's why I'm here with this Thoughtful Thursday, delivering to you Don Miguel Ruiz, the 4 Agreements book. Like I said, this book has transformed me. It has made me see things differently, view my interactions with people differently, it's changed the way I view the world. So if you're into that type stuff, if you're into reading, Don Miguel Ruiz, I'm gonna say it one more time, the 4 Agreements. And I also just realized that he had a 5th agreement. I haven't read that book yet, but I'm thinking about putting that on my to read list. I have a lot on my to read list, so go ahead and check that book out. Go out, be impeccable with your word. Don't make any assumptions. Don't take anything personal from anybody, okay? That's just their reality. What they have to say about you isn't none of your business. And do your best, people. I love you. Have a good Thursday.